Hello and welcome again to my YouTube channel on Ayurveda, yoga and all kind of related things to natural healing. So we started this series now on natural supplement, nutrition, superfood, and so this is the second part of it. In the second part, I'd like to speak about the patient. In the first part, I spoke about what are we taking in. I just put 3 examples out there. And now this part is about what the patient is actually expecting from it and what the patient comes to us with and displays by making certain supplement choices. I love it because it's so interesting. It tells me so much more about the patient and their ideal, about their real self, what they think they need, than any other words might sometimes tell. So when I see a patient coming, and normally they have been practicing yoga, they bring their yoga magazine and they said, oh, I've heard ashwagandha is really good for me. And so we look into the ashwagandha and we look into the brahmi that they brought, what they're actually telling us with that. So as we know that ashwagandha has a high propaganda in giving a lot of strength. The real translation is the tail of the horse. It is a very energizing product. Also a bit depending where it actually comes from, it can vary in the quality of either increasing the heartbeat rate or calming down and putting people to sleep. So it's a bit tricky. There are so many different ashwagandhas on the market, so we really have to be very careful and support the patient to make the right choice if they really want to take it. But if we look at the patient and we try to get an idea of what they actually are telling us. So the one thing is, for the ashwagandha, they feel they need more strength. Why do they need more strength? So we look at their daily balance. Maybe they feel they need more strength because there's actually a disbalance between their expectations of who they are and what they actually could deliver. And on the other side, the expectations of society. What, for instance, a woman should be able to do, bringing up the children and just being besides very good in the job, or whatever kind of things people come with, or sleep less and be more energized at work. We find a lot of role models, unfortunately, on one side, and we find a lot of society determined ideas that people suffer from. They often don't find the way to really restore their health, to regain their health, to find rest, to allow themselves to rest. They often feel that maybe they are considered to be lazy or not efficient or not happy enough. So when we look at ashwagandha as a supplement that a person made by their own choice, we look at actually something they feel deficient in. And that is pretty sad, because when they tell us about where they feel deficient in, then they also tell us actually very often they feel they don't function well. And this is one of the terms I hear very often. And it makes me very, very sad, because the term I'm not functioning well enough actually means that a life that was full of choices, full of hope, full of faith, full of desire, full of happiness and pleasure, meant to be, suddenly had turned a little bit sour into, I think I don't function well enough. So the first thing is that we then, as therapists, we try to understand what is meant by I don't function, and what are the dreams that are still somewhere contained, and how we can unfold and unreveal those dreams again, and how the person can achieve them by maybe doing less instead of doing more. The next herb we were looking at was turmeric. And turmeric now has been particularly considered as an immune boost. Again, with the turmeric, we have to be very cautious, because immunity is something that is not that we take something in from the outside and suddenly it will change us and we become superheroes. So immunity and the desire for immunity, of course, there's a special then going on Corona, is also actually the idea to find a safe space. If we feel we are prone to infections, that also makes us very vulnerable. We might lose the ability to react properly to circumstances that come from the outside. So looking into immunity is looking into vulnerability. And when we then see that people start substituting turmeric in order to get a strong immunity response, we should also look into what actually makes our immunity really strong. And this is rest. This is adapting to our lifestyle to proper sleeping habits, proper eating habits, proper lifestyle habits. We can't substitute the deficiency that we develop over the years with a teaspoonful of yellow powder. We have to learn, and that's why we as therapists are so important for you. We have to learn to understand what is our desire, what is our way, what is our reason, why do we do something, opposed to what shall we take to substitute the deficiency. So I hope this is making you happy. The third one will be, again, the yastimado we were looking at, which is added to tea, which is suppressing our immunity, and we should be very cautious. We all have a desire for a sweet tooth, means most all of us. We have a desire to have something sweet because sweet is relaxing. And we all desire something relaxing. We all desire something that is just giving us a benefit, which is a gift to us, which honors us. And sweetness definitely is the first thing that we receive from our parents. So looking for the sweet taste, sometimes it's more honest to just take a teaspoonful of sugar into your tea and you feel, okay, I took tea with sugar now and I feel it, opposed to just taking substances that are sugar-like, for instance, juices or yastimado in the tea or sugars without calories. We should be more honest that we lack something sweet. And again, we should look into the desire. So why are we craving something sweet now? Why do we want the benefit? Why do we think we now get a reward or we have to get a reward? So again, look at the why in your life opposed to how can I substitute what I feel should be there. And I hope I see you again for the next series, on superfood and nutrition. And I wish you a very happy and very sweet day. Manuela.